How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You're looking lovely, really fresh.
Thank you. No, actually, I've had a really strange day.
Okay.
And I took a half an hour nap.
Okay.
So that's why maybe I'm looking fresh. Yeah.
Ah.
Like right here, sitting right here, I took a nap.
Okay.
Also, my name is Shayoni.
Oh, Shayoni, my bad. I'm so sorry.
No, it always happens because it's a wrong spelling. So it's not really your fault. So
Right. Okay. So welcome to Dr. A Talks. I've been looking forward to having a
thank you.
conversation with you for a long time, and I'm so happy that you accepted it. Let's begin with how your journey as an actor started.
Wow. Okay. First of all, I have to tell you, I used to I think this was in school sometime, and both my mother and me used to, we used to talk about you, like how stunning you were, and you still are, and absolutely, you've such a striking presence and a striking face,
Thank you so
I've really, I had to, it's almost like a full circle that I'm actually talking to you today. It's very special when you actually asked me that you wanted to speak to me. I was like, oh my God,
Of course,
so thank you.
As shared, I have been looking forward to having a conversation with you. So, of course. So,
Thank you. So acting was always something that I did. I was always a performer. I was dancing ever since I was like 2 years old, and I was put in a dance school, and I started doing theater very early. I think I was on stage when I was like around 3 years old. So I used to do a lot of elocution, recitation, and very seriously, like professionally. So I was always performing, but actually, like professionally, I don't think in a middle class household you can actually even think loudly to yourself, I'm going to go to Bollywood one day or Bombay and think so on and so forth. But I think my father also wanted it somewhere, and he was also a performer, actor, singer, etc. So he gave me the idea of NSD, and that was the plan. And I went to Delhi, did my undergrads, but I eventually did not go to NSD because I worked with some extremely talented, like stalwarts really in theater, and they actually suggested against NSD, and I continued to do theater. I took up a job, and then I think if you have something in you, and I started doing a corporate job right after college, and literally to figure out what I wanted to do, because I've never had a plan ever in life, and I just knew that performing made me really happy, and everyone who knew me all my life knew I was a performer, so I think those 1.5 years were really crucial in understanding what I didn't want, which is a 9 to 5 job. Although I was doing really well at the, I'm really a workaholic. So I was really into it, and I spent a lot of time in office, and I got multiple promotions within that 1 year. And I was very young. I was 21, right? And then I realized that, oh my God, this is not for me. And I need to be inspired, and I would constantly, my only way out to was watching films, during those 1.5 years, because I didn't have time to do theater or dance.
Right.
And every time I would watch a film, I'd be like, I need to be there, that feeling from inside that eats you up.
Yeah.
And then it just happened that my flatmate was for filling up the FTI form. She asked me for it. I did it. I didn't think, and I was actually praying that I don't get through, and I got through. And then, it was just the right decision at the right time, actually. If I hadn't taken the decision, I don't think I would have been here talking to you. I think education is really important, and FTI really gave me that confidence, that push, that direction, that legitimacy to actually come and do it and actually study it first and then come and try my luck. So yeah, so that's how it began.
So you did say that you didn't go to NSD. However, the rumor has it that you are a method actor, which you don't agree to, is what I believe. So what are your thoughts on it? How do you prepare, and why is it that everybody says you're a method actor? I know you over-prepared for FOMO shots. I did a little bit of homework, so to say. So what do you have to say?
No, there is a method, but the thing is, a lot of my co-actors would make fun, right? Oh, method. But I think everyone has a process, and it's, you know what your process is. Sometimes you might not know what your process is, but there is a process.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've studied in FTI, so I've studied a lot of theory, a lot of practical. I've studied filmmaking as well, so it definitely gives you a lot of tools to use that you can use from time to time. And but I think it really is a constant exploration and evolution. So whatever you've learned, you obviously put it in practice, and you actually figure out what works and what doesn't work, and what works at what point. So it is a mix of many things, you know. So definitely, for example, and in Jolly LLB 2, I don't know if you've seen the film. The part that I played, you know, everyone sort of loved it, and, you know, speaks about this one particular scene. And my mother actually saw the film, and she said, "You're walking like me." And I didn't realize I had done it,
Right.
but then I realized I'm looking like her from the back, you know, when I have this, like, I'm heavily pregnant. I mean, I obviously didn't see my mother pregnant, but, you know, that spine and that, you know, that fatigue, that burden on the shoulders, like all of that mixed together, you know, a woman who's struggling every day. So, and I didn't really think of this, right? But it's somewhere in my association of experience, and that's what's come out. So even that's process. So it's interesting, like, if you sit down and study. But of course, I have a process. And I'm very meticulous. Yeah, so I'm also obsessive.
One, as an actor, I know you've been very, very busy, and then what happens is you are running from one set to the other, and the sheer difference in that sense of the roles that you've played. How do you manage the meticulousness when you're portraying 3 different roles at one given time, running from one set to the other? So how do you manage?
I think I can only do it because I'm doing, you know, I think the kind of person I am, if I was just doing one thing, I'd be bored. So I think the fact that I'm running from one set to the other actually makes me like want to even do more. I don't know how to say it, and I'm constantly challenged, right? And when your brain is stimulated, you function better in a certain way. I think everyone does, you know. And that's I have to be constantly stimulated, and and thankfully, touch wood, it's my work that sort of, like, you know, it really tickles my mind. And acting is something, and obviously you've been an actor, you know, it's definitely something that that the more you do, there is no end to it, you know. The more you want to work on your character, you know, it's constant, like there is no end to going deeper. Right? But I think I am meticulous as a person, so and I'm obsessive and a perfectionist, so I have to I mean, I have to nail everything. Like, if I don't completely feel spent, and I don't know, I mean, it could also be a character flaw. You're a psychiatrist, you might be able to tell, but I have to do everything to the best of my ability, you know. And if I feel that I haven't given my all, I don't feel satisfied. Sometimes it just happens because it's also not a task, right? I mean, you have to glide through it, you have to have fun and all of that. So it's really trying to balance both and, you know, have a mix of both. So, but I love it. I love running from one set to the other, touch wood. And I think I'm very, you know, you're very fortunate when that happens, because it doesn't happen all the time, right? For actors.
Of course. So given that you are meticulous and you like to be a perfectionist in that sense, that what is that one very, very difficult moment of your acting career as an actor, you know, in front of the camera, which was a scene or a moment or a line or a mood or anything like that, which has been the most challenging for you?
In front of the camera, none, actually.
Okay, off the camera.
Not difficult. Challenging, yeah, I mean, you only do the job when you think it's challenging. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it, you know, if I know I can sleepwalk through it. But I'm having too much fun when I'm on set, like, you know, so the challenge is to get it right and do a good job of it. And but not necessarily difficult. I think the difficult part, Aditi, it has to be just keeping the balance in your mind, keeping your chin up, not feeling bogged down when something doesn't happen, or to be constantly motivated. Again, fortunately, I have to say that I am doing, at least in the last 3 years, and even before that, actually, I've been lucky enough to actually get like interesting parts and work with some amazing people, but it doesn't happen all the time, and I have to say this, that there are a lot of times you feel like you're capable of so much more when it's, and just talking about the art, just talking about acting, but it's always not expected of you. So that, I think, is the difficult part. It's because I think we have a huge amount of mediocrity, unfortunately, that really bogs me down. So I think that is the most difficult part. Like, I would like to collaborate with amazingly talented people, and I would want to, see a day where all of them also want to collaborate with me.
Right.
But yeah, so I think being sane, being positive, because there are good days, there are bad days. So yeah, I think those are the difficult parts off camera.
Okay, got it. So when you get bogged down off camera, what do you do? What is your mantra to kind of pep yourself up again?
On an average day, honestly, I don't have time to sit and brood, or sit in like, I am working most of the times. But if I am not working, then I just sleep, because I am anyway so low on sleep that I would just get a good afternoon or good night's sleep. And also, I think, surrounding yourself with the right kind of people is really important, especially in our profession.
Right.
And luckily, I have some amazing friends and people who keep you grounded, people who are honest with you, people who will not let you put yourself in a bubble. That's very important, and most of the people I know are people, I mean, of course, people who I've met in Bombay and have found some amazing friends, but also people who are from my film school, like earlier friends, who exactly know who you are, who will shut you up when you're talking shit, and who will tell you if you've done a bad job, who will, even if you've done a good job, they'll always tell you it's okay, don't fly too high, but still be positive, and also motivate you. So that supportive, honest environment is very important. So that, of course, and I travel a lot for work or otherwise. Actually, this lockdown is the first time I've been in my house. Not even house, like I've been in Bombay for this long. I've never been in Bombay for this long. I mean, I think last time would have been in 2014 or 13, or I don't remember the last time. So yeah, I travel a lot, and I think that's a great way of soaking in new experience and energy, and feeding off people you meet. And I love just going into museums and just looking at paintings and spending hours alone. I love traveling alone. So nature, and so that's nature and art makes me the most happy. So and also during the lockdown, I've realized that it's very important to know what are the small things that make you happy and give you joy. And to constantly, as a habit, keep doing that, So now I know, like, painting gives me happiness, right? Even if I can't go out right now. Or learning a new song gives me happiness. So, I do that because
do you paint?
I think
do you sing?
Yeah, I do. I've been doing that actually during the lockdown.
So do you want to sing for us?
Oh, Baba.
Okay, no.
No, actually, no, I mean, I'm very bad with lyrics. What do you want me to sing?
Your favorite song?
Okay, I've sang it before. I'm just saying. Then I'll sing आज जाने की जिद ना करो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो, यूं ही पहलू में बैठे रहो आज जाने की जिद ना करो.
Wow, that's so awesome. You sang it in one of the series, right? I've seen you. Did you sing it on screen?
No, this I think I've sang in an interview.
Interview. Maybe. Yeah, watched that.
Yeah, or a live. Yeah. I think live or an interview. Because it's like literally my go-to song. Like when I can't think of anything, it's my song. I'm so bad with lyrics. Yeah, but I don't know why I cannot remember words. Like words to music. So even songs that I've learned, like the first song I have learned ever in my life, which is Rovindra Sangeet, also I forget the lyrics. And it's something that my father had. Like songs he'd literally sang for 45 years, he would forget the lyrics to them.
But you're
so I think it's genetic. Yeah, fully. And I have photographic memory, so if I see something, I remember it.
Right.
But I can't, I don't know, for the love of God, I cannot remember lyrics. So when I'm asked to lip sing, and thankfully it hasn't happened a lot. I would like to do song and dance, but lip singing, even in Fomo Shot season 2, there's this one like strange song, very peppy song. And I was like, I can either dance or I can sing. I cannot. And Nupur, the director, she was like, you have to. So they actually took a 10-minute break somehow. And after practicing so much, I still got, I think, 4 words out.
No, it's quite a task. I mean, trust me, you don't remember the lyrics. Same here. I mean, I'm not very good at remembering lyrics. And then to perform the steps and express and know that you have to, at the end of the song, run from here to there and land at that particular spot. Oh my God, it was really the part for me.
No, dance I can do. I'm great at choreography and everything. But I've been a dancer all my life, right? So we've never had to know any lyrics because you never, it was just expression. This lyrics thing is very Bollywood, which I've never done. So I was like, oh my God, it's terrifying.
So now tell us about the one actor film that you've produced.
Yeah, I've co-produced it. I'm obviously the only actor in the film. Oh, no wonder I co-produced it. But it's actually I can't talk a lot about the film at this point because the film's not out yet, and I'm hoping that the right time comes and all that. But yeah, we shot it in Nepal, and we trekked for 27 days.
Oh wow!
And it was grueling and stunning and very difficult. Actually, in front of the camera, when you're asked me, probably that was the most difficult experience and challenging for different reasons. Like I was worried if I'll be alive the next moment, So yeah. So that it was grueling.
Yeah, that was a grueling.
It was intense. It was intense.
Off camera, because I'm sure in front of the camera you must have glided and
for some reason, it's very. I'm really stupid because there were a lot of crazy terrain that we were walking in, and a lot of times I have vertigo, and we were trekking at some crazy height, 17,500 feet, and crazy height. And off camera, I would be like, oh my god, and on camera, and the director would be like, okay, 1 second, we are rolling, and the moment the camera will roll, I would just gain some kind of confidence. And he was like, I want what you were doing before the camera rolled. Just do that. I just had some confidence, and I was like, damn, and I could never do the exact same thing while, when the camera wasn't rolling. It's crazy.
So what about lockdown? How have you spent your time? Because, I asked this question to all the guests, and it's amazing how people have channelized their energy in different directions. At times, the energy is all over the place. They've not really done anything, which is fine. I mean, each one has their own method to madness in that sense. What has been your journey in this lockdown period?
So honestly, I've had 3 releases during the lockdown, and this is not to sound pompous at all, but the back end work, which is literally this, I sit here and I do multiple interviews and live sessions and videos that even till now. So the promotions around around the project. So I've been like doing so much like PR work and press work, which I do not really enjoy doing.
Nobody does.
Yeah, yeah. So so that took a lot of time, like literally, like actually most of the 3 months, till now, 3 or 4 months, and
So you just want to
but
name
I
the
did
three
try.
projects that released during this time.
So there was FOMO Shot season 2 that came out, and then there was Good Karma Hospital, which is a British show on ITV, that came out, and then Akhune on Netflix came out last month. So yeah, so and I mean both are, all three are very different, and and there's a lot of press. At least like starting out, FOMO Shots had a lot of press, like crazy. Even now, and because it's quarantine, even your magazines and newspapers, they want videos from you, they want you to shoot. I've done editorial shoots alone at home. I'm supposed to do one shoot for Cosmo. It's dreadful, when you have to do a lot of these kind of shoots, especially because everything you have to do. And today I actually shot for an Australian game show from home, sitting right here. Yeah.
That's cool.
So yeah, they apparently love me from FOMO Shots and Damini's part, and yeah, so they called me to be their host, like guest host for one episode, and I shot for that. So all morning I was doing that actually from from like 7 o'clock. So yeah, I mean it's so different kind of things, and I'm amazed at the adaptability of human beings, because. Literally 4 months ago, this would never even like cross our minds and be like, oh my God, like this is not in our wildest dreams. And if somebody had, we'd be like scorn, like literally telling them like, just like what's wrong with you. But we are, and all these Zooms, and I've been doing meetings for some new films on Zoom, and so all that is happening, reading scripts. But I've also, obviously, the housework takes a lot of time, like a lot of time. And literally, like right now, I saw my sink and I was like, I just washed utensils like last night. How the hell did so many come back? Like it's like magic, And obviously, jhadu pocha, bartan, and bathroom, and so I've been cooking a lot. And my family in Bombay, who's my nephew, niece-in-law, and the baby, they just resettled. I mean, they moved back to the US. So I was with them for a bit, for a week or 2 weeks, and cooked a lot. And yeah, so I mean, there's like all kinds of things. There's also been some personal setback, but I think it's like, and we can't really complain, Aditi, because you see the news and you see these videos, and there's so many out there who have nothing, who are literally struggling right now. So yeah, I'm truly fortunate. And as I said, like, it's a great time to find new things to do that give you joy. And I learned some new songs, and I've been painting, which was actually the beginning of the quarantine. I have to open my paint book back because I haven't had the time.
Can we see a painting of yours?
Yeah, it's right there. 1 second, sorry. Wow, sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
This is.
Oh wow!
It's very basic, yeah.
Wow.
It's like.
Oh, it's lovely. It's beautiful.
It's literally like. Yeah. It's even shameful to actually be showing this.
No,
like
I think it's stunning.
But yeah, I've been. Like it's literally like
nice.
just working with stuff, and it's really therapeutic. I feel working with colors, and I started doing color after a while, and then I love those adult sketching books, like the coloring books, and yeah, so it's quite very nice actually.
So now I'm going to ask you a question as a psychologist, because the whole purpose, the reason why I started Dr. A Talks was I started it the day lockdown began. I said, okay, I need to do something as a psychologist, and it was pretty much to inspire people, because what happens is the general impression of people who are not in front of the camera or who are not part of Bollywood or web series and all that, they think that, okay, the actors and people who are in front of the camera have it all very easy. That how can they suffer from anxiety or panic or depression because they have it all. I want you to share that when you fall down and when you are down and out, because I'm sure there must be some struggle in your life, there must be some setback in your life, because it's there in everybody's life. How do you cope with it? What is your coping strategy?
I think everyone has, every single person has a different coping mechanism, you know. You deal with life in different ways. You look at life in different ways. I just, and of course, I couldn't have agreed with you more, because, you know, literally people are like, oh, but, you know, you're doing so well, or, you know, she's doing so well, or, you know, but it's like, it's nothing like how it looks from outside, you know, and the immense pressure, and it's a very, also as actors, you know, you're constantly working with emotions, so you're actually bearing yourself. You're in a way like completely, like it's like making yourself naked and emotionally naked, which is even, you know, deeper, and you go into your darker places, and a lot of times you do it, and the better you can, we literally are in the business of emotions, right? And this is our tool, like not just our body, but also our mind, and, you know, and we take it to places, right? But a lot of times we don't really come back, you know, so align back to a center, and that's really important. And I think that's why any kind of meditation work is really important, because it sort of helps you gather yourself back, you know, pick up the pieces, and just take that silence in, you know, that and it's very, very important to feel that quiet inside, and then go out there and do it again. And of course, you know, the external pressures are, and it's very stressful. You're you know, even to deal with so many human beings on a day-to-day level, because not everyone is great to talk to, not everyone you like talking to. I, for that matter, I'm not a people's person at all. I like my space alone, you know. I like that, but I have to, even my team, for example, within your team, you're interacting with like 5 different people every day, and you love them, they love you, but, you know, there are a lot of times you go through mood swings, you know, there are 100 things 100 people expect out of you. You have deadlines, someone telling you, oh, why didn't you do this on time? And, you know, then you have, it's like, it's a real hustle, and it's very stressful sometimes. But I think, you know, how I deal with it is, again, breathe. And you know, sometimes we forget to breathe. And I think the lockdown has really taught me that, you know, it's very important to just calm the fuck down, you know. And because, again, as you were saying, like, I love thriving in tempo, like, you know, in pace, and I like that, like, a lot of things happening. I like multitasking. I can't do just one thing at one time. But what it does, it strips me away from the calm, right? And to keep finding that is, it takes a toll. And even if you don't realize it, it does sometimes show in your behavior, or, you know, just how you are with yourself, or you know, with people around you, or maybe your mother, because your mother gets all the pent up frustration, and all of that. So I think just breathe, and, you know, also just a regular reminder to yourself of the things that do work in your life, you know, because this if you have gratitude in your heart and your heart center, I think that's, it just sounds like words right now, but you actually, if you feel that, you will feel a sense of love and a sense of, like, you know, light from within. And and that's very, very, very important, because we all have many things that are not working for us, and I don't want to sound privileged. Of course, I know I'm privileged, and of course, I know I'm so much better off. The fact that we can talk like this, you know, from our homes, than so many other people out there. But still, you know, at least people who are listening here, there will be things that won't work out, but there will also be things that will work out. And and nothing is permanent, honestly. Ups and downs are, that's life really. And there is no point like concentrating on one thing, like the highs. I feel like I literally, this was a realization that happened. I think the week of FOMO shots coming out, and I realized that it was such a big high that I was like, this is the moment that I wanted, because it had just, and this is season one, like it was such, like I mean, everyone was talking, it was like crazy, right? And that's when I realized that, listen, this moment right now is something that you wanted, like, say, 3 months ago, right? But now it looks like this, and it's great. But know that this is not going to stay, and this is also going to be that same thing that you felt 3 months ago, where this wasn't there, and that was the low. And that's the cycle that will constantly be there, So don't take this or that too seriously. Just enjoy both, when you have it.
Exactly what I say, that, a lot of times us human beings, we don't even allow ourselves to feel happy. We don't allow ourselves to savor that happiness, that success. Though we know, that, okay, this is not going to last very long, but at least let yourself enjoy that moment in the fullest, which we don't. So we have to allow ourselves, and that's what I've been saying, whenever I do something, that, okay, enjoy this happiness and then move on to the next. Because otherwise, I have been like, okay, what's next? This is done. It's over. I've got success. What's next? So I've been that kind. So now I just stay and, okay, this is fun. Let me enjoy it. So I think that becomes a very crucial part of us living in this lockdown as a takeaway, I think, from this conversation as well. That whether it's sadness or whether it's happiness, just let yourself
experience it. Even sadness, I mean, every time I'm crying also, because, as an actor, I run to the mirror to see how my face is contoured. But you don't have to do that, you're normal. But I mean, whoever's watching. But yeah, I just think, like, one really, I mean, even the sadness, like, there are so many things that you will discover about yourself when you are in pain or things are not working out. It's not a great place to be, but there is a certain kind of, like, you can also savor it, you can also there is a certain flavor to it, like happiness, when you're happy and joyous. So, and you can also be joyous in sadness, and if you're able to do that, you've pretty much attained nirvana. But that's the idea.
Absolutely. So, Sayani, thank you so much for coming on Dr.
Thank you.
Talks. If there is one message that you would like to give to all our viewers who've been really nice and, listening to us having this conversation, what would that be?
I think just stay safe and, take care of each other. I think we've always, I think, love is really the answer for everything. And I know that there is, I mean, it's just something that, you say, but in everything, when it comes to, like, doing something for another person, doing something for people who work in your homes, helping them out. And especially now, because you can see the lines broaden so much, between the haves and the have-nots. If you can help another person, please do. And I think sharing is something, like, we must, it must become a habit. And there is so much negativity in the world, that I think if you can just look at things from a place of love, I think a lot will change for yourself and for others. And I'm not just saying it. When I do it, I know how it feels. And it's a higher choice you make. When I don't, when I get frustrated and that also happens, it's not like, I mean, I'm the one who feels bad, right? So I think we have to come from a place of empathy, and just be safe.
Thank you so
Stay
much,
safe.
Sayani. God bless you and love you for coming on this show.
Thank you so much. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.